I've come down this treacherous little path to see one of Australia's most endangered ecosystem types. I'm talking about giant kelp forests. So in Tasmania, there's only around 1% or even less left of what used to be here. And no one's really sure of the reasons for this, but there's several hypotheses floating around. One of them is that the water's getting too warm. Another one is that sea urchin overgrazing is eating down all the kelp. And yet another one is that there's not enough nutrients in the water yet, which is related to climate change and changes in ocean currents. This site's important because it gives weight towards the nutrient hypothesis that kelp needs a lot of nutrients to survive. And particularly the giant kelp, Macrocystis pyrifera, is not very good at storing nitrogen. So it needs to be in water that has a lot of nitrogen in it all the time. Unlike other kelp species, which can store nitrogen to see them through those periods of starvation. Behind me here is one of the reasons the kelp forest is so good. There's a sewage works here that pumps treated sewage out into the Derwent River. And the nutrients from that sewage, even though it's pollution, helps to support the kelp forest. Back in the old days, they used to pump raw, untreated sewage straight out here, and apparently the kelp forest really thrived off it. But now they've extended the pipe out several kilometres offshore, and they obviously treat the sewage better, so there's not as much nutrients going in. So ironically, the kelp forest isn't doing as well because it's not getting as much nutrients. In the plans for upgrading the sewage works, they actually considered the impacts on the kelp forest and added in a diffuser which slowly seeps out a little bit of nitrogen to help feed this beautiful kelp forest that lives out here.